Manchester United's pursuit of Carlos Baleba has been one of the most talked about sagas of this transfer window. The negotiations have stretched over weeks with several twists and moments of uncertainty, but the story has now reached a decisive conclusion. Earlier in the week, United held further conversations with Baleba's representatives, signaling their determination to test Brighton's stance and find out exactly what kind of fee the South Coast club was demanding. Brighton had been firm from the start, placing a high valuation on the young midfielder and refusing to back down from their position. Despite that, Manchester United persisted, keeping lines of communication open with both the players' agents and Brighton's executives. By the end of the window, it became increasingly clear that United were not willing to walk away from this deal, identifying Baleba as a midfielder essential to their rebuilding project. On transfer deadline day, Fabrizio Romano confirmed what fans had been waiting to hear: Carlos Baleba's move to Manchester United is complete. Rarely does deadline day pass without drama, and this summer has been no exception. United's capture of the 20-year-old Cameroonian midfielder instantly became one of the headline stories of the market. His signing is the fourth under new manager Ruben Amorim, following the arrivals of Matheus Cunha, Brian Mbeumo, and others who have been added to strengthen key areas of the squad. For supporters, the announcement represents much more than just another addition. It signals a renewed sense of ambition, intent, and long-term vision from a club that has faced years of inconsistency and rebuilding attempts. Baleba joins Manchester United on a long-term contract reported to stretch up to 7 years, effectively committing his peak years to the club. Such a lengthy deal demonstrates United's faith not only in his current ability but also in his potential to become one of the defining players of the next decade. Brighton's initial price tag was steep, rumored to be well over €100 million, yet United structured the agreement in a way that satisfied Brighton's demands while ensuring financial security for themselves. The deal reportedly involves a large guaranteed fee with significant add-ons tied to performance, appearances, and team success. This approach allowed Brighton to secure maximum value while giving United flexibility in managing their long-term budget. From a tactical perspective, Baleba is a player perfectly suited to Amorim's system. The Portuguese manager is known for a high-energy style, pressing aggressively, and relying on midfielders who can both win duels and progress the ball under pressure. Baleba's profile ticks every box. He is strong in defensive transitions, comfortable in possession, resistant to pressing, and able to distribute effectively to launch attacks. His arrival not only strengthens the midfield immediately but also creates balance alongside experienced figures like Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes. Baleba's energy and discipline could give Fernandes more license to operate higher up the pitch, while also providing crucial support for Casemiro, who cannot be expected to shoulder the defensive workload alone. Baleba's journey in English football has been rapid and remarkable. Since joining Brighton, he quickly established himself as one of the league's most promising young midfielders, drawing comparisons to established stars despite his age. Brighton invested heavily in his development, seeing him as a natural successor to Moises Caicedo after his high-profile move to Chelsea in 2023. However, United's persistence and clear project eventually convinced both Baleba and Brighton that this was the right move. For the player, the chance to play at Old Trafford, work under Amorim, and compete at the highest level was simply too enticing to turn down. United's summer transfer business as a whole has reflected both turbulence and ambition. Major departures, including Marcus Rashford's surprising loan move to Barcelona, have raised eyebrows, while ongoing speculation around Alejandro Garnacho's future has added uncertainty. Yet, amid these changes, Baleba's signing provides stability in the area of the pitch that often dictates a team's overall performance, the midfield. United's strategy appears to be building from the center outwards, ensuring control and structure before focusing further on the attack. This philosophy mirrors some of the club's most successful eras, when dominant midfielders like Roy Keane, Paul Scholes, and Michael Carrick provided the backbone of championship-winning sides. From Brighton's perspective, Baleba's sale follows their established model of identifying young talent, developing it, and eventually selling at a premium. Over recent years, they have turned players such as Ben White, Marc Cucurella, Alexis Mac Allister, and Moises Caicedo into massive transfer profits, reinvesting in scouting and youth development to sustain their rise as one of the Premier League's smartest operators. While Baleba's departure will undoubtedly weaken their midfield in the short term, the funds secured ensure Brighton can continue their cycle of discovery and development. It is worth noting that Manchester United were not the only club chasing Baleba. Manchester City had also shown strong interest, viewing him as a potential long-term replacement for Ilkay Gundogan, who departed in 2023. That United managed to win this transfer battle against their fiercest rivals represents a significant psychological victory for the fans and the club. For once, United acted decisively in the market, moving quickly to secure their man rather than allowing negotiations to drag on. The expectations on Baleba will be immense. At Manchester United, every performance will be scrutinized, every mistake amplified, and every success celebrated on a global stage. Yet, those who know him well describe a player with maturity beyond his years, someone who does not shy away from responsibility and thrives under pressure. At just 20, his ceiling is extraordinarily high, and with the right guidance, he could become the heartbeat of United's midfield for the next decade. Ultimately, Baleba's transfer is more than just the addition of a new player. It is a statement of intent. For Manchester United, it symbolizes a commitment to youth, progression, and long-term planning under Ruben Amorim. For the player, it marks the beginning of what could be a defining chapter in his career. While challenges lie ahead, adapting to the demands of Old Trafford, the intensity of the Premier League, and the expectations of one of football's biggest fan bases, the opportunity is equally vast. As the dust settles on a dramatic transfer window, United supporters can look forward to the season with a renewed sense of optimism. In Carlos Baleba, the club has not only secured a midfielder for the present but also laid down a cornerstone for the future.